Hey guys, I have a couple encounters that a few people sent me. If you have one, spookynews@yahoo.com, SPOOKYNEWS@yahoo.com, or DM me. So here we go. The first one is the rest stop trucker. I've been driving nights for almost 15 years, and let me tell you, nothing good happens at the rest stop in the middle of nowhere. You see shadows where there shouldn't be any, you hear voices when the lot is empty, and most guys laugh it off as sleep deprivation. But there's one night I'll never forget. It was somewhere off I-40 in Arizona, about 2 in the morning. I pulled into a nearly empty rest stop area, just one sedan parked at the far end. The windows were fogged. The sodium lights buzzed overhead, throwing this sick yellow glow across the lot. I don't know what sodium lights are, but kind of creepy. I killed the engine, sat back, and rubbed my eyes. That's when I noticed something across the lot, just past the tree line. Someone was standing there. Not walking, not smoking a cigarette, just standing. At first, I figured it was another driver stretching his legs, but the longer I watched, the more wrong it felt. His outline was off. Too tall, too narrow, and even though the wind was blowing hard enough to rattle my mirrors, his clothes didn't move at all. I tried to shake it off, grab my thermos, sip my coffee, and when I looked back, he was closer. Still standing perfectly still. Same posture, same angle, like he'd been picked up and dropped 10 feet nearer. I told myself, don't freak out, don't make it a thing, but I swear the air in the cab got heavy, like I couldn't breathe right. I glanced away again just for a second, and when I looked back, he was at the edge of the pavement, only a few yards away from my truck. That's when I saw his face, or I should say the absence of one. Just smooth, pale skin stretched across where features should have been. No eyes, no mouth, no expression. I dropped my thermos and fired up my truck so fast I nearly stalled it. The lights illuminated the lot, and for a split second, he wasn't standing anymore. He was crouched, almost spider-like, arms bent backwards, head cocked to the side as if he was studying me. The lights flickered, buzzing, dimming, and then he was gone. I didn't wait to find out where he went. I floored it out of there, tires screaming across the pavement. My rearview mirror was useless because the last thing I saw was his face in the middle of the road, keeping pace with me at 60 miles an hour before vanishing into the night. I haven't stopped at a rest stop at night since. Ooh, creepy. So I have another one from a lady. The abandoned barn. I grew up in rural Kentucky, and everyone in my town knew about the old Miller barn. People said it was haunted, but it was more than that. It was avoided. Nobody would step foot inside after dark. One summer night, me and 2 friends were stupid enough to go check it out. We bought flashlights and a 12-pack, thinking it would be a dumb adventure. The barn looked like it was sagging into the earth, all rotted wood and broken windows. Inside, the air was colder than outside, heavy with mildew. Our footsteps echoed too loudly, like the building was bigger on the inside than it should have been. There were old farming tools hanging on the walls, and in the center, an iron hook dangling from a beam. We were laughing, daring each other to touch it. Then my buddy Mark froze. His light caught something in the corner, and what looked like a figure crouched low, and his hands covering his face. We called out, thinking it was another kid messing with us, but when the light hit it fully, we realized it wasn't a person at all. Its arms were too long, bent at strange angles, and its head snapped forward like it had been broken and reset wrong. Then it started crawling, not walking, crawling on all fours, fast, dragging its limbs like they were heavy. We bolted for the doors, screaming, but then the barn seemed to stretch. The exit looked further and further away. I don't remember how we got out. One second we were running, and next we were outside in the field, gasping for air. When I turned back, the barn was just silent and empty. The hook inside, though, the next day, I went back with my dad, and the hook was gone. Okay, the desert radio. This one was told to me by a guy stationed out in 29 Palms. It was not James. It was another Marine that sent me this. He said the desert out there does strange things to your mind. Some nights it goes beyond that. He was on a late patrol, nothing around for miles, but the sand and the scrub. The only sound was the hum of the Humvee and the crackle of the radio out of nowhere. The radio clicked on, and a voice started speaking, not military chatter, not English. It was whispers, low and broken, like 3 or 4 voices speaking at once. He said it almost sounded like they were calling his name. but it stretched out wrong, and like they didn't quite know how to pronounce it. He pulled over thinking it might be interference, and he stepped out of the Humvee. I would have not stepped out of that Humvee though. The desert was quiet. No wind, no bugs, no movement, just silence. Then the radio inside the Humvee screamed. Not feedback, not static, a full-on scream. Long and distorted, like someone was being torn apart. Jumped back in and floored it. The scream cut off, and in the rearview mirror he swore he saw figures standing in the road behind him where he had just been. Tall, thin, and too many of them to count. He told me, he said the desert listens at night, and if it answers back, don't stop. It wasn't so creepy, but I mean, if you've seen figures behind you and like you were on patrol, but all the videos that I've done from 29 Palms, like there's definitely something out there. Okay, so this one is another anonymous one. They call Route 50 the longest road in America, and for good reason. I was driving through Nevada, no lights, no towns, just endless black desert around midnight. I saw someone standing on the shoulder. It was a woman in a pale dress, her hair hanging long over her face. At first I thought she was stranded, maybe she needed help. So I slowed down, rolled the window down, and called out. She didn't answer. She just slowly turned her head towards me, and that's when I saw her face. It wasn't a face at all, just a gaping black hole where her features should have been. Before I could even hit the gas, she was suddenly beside the car, her hand slamming against my window, her arm bent wrong, bones snapping under the skin like they didn't belong there. I punched the accelerator, praying the engine wouldn't stall. For miles I didn't dare look in the mirror, but when I finally glanced back, there she was in the back seat, and then she was gone, vanished. I drove the rest of the way with every light on in the car, whispering prayers I hadn't said since I was a kid. You can believe what you want, but this is my encounter, and I hope you read it. We read it. Okay, last one. The hotel room above mine. A few years back, I stayed in this old roadside hotel in West Virginia. It was almost empty. Just me and maybe 2 other guests. The front desk gave me a key for room 212. That night around 1 a.m., I was woken up by the sound of heavy footsteps pacing above me. Back and forth, back and forth. Problem was, there wasn't a room above me. Room 212 was on the top floor. The pacing went on for almost an hour, and then came dragging sounds, like furniture being moved, then knocking. 3 slow, deliberate knocks on my ceiling. I didn't sleep, I just laid there, staring at the plaster above me, waiting. When morning finally came, I asked the front desk who was in the room above mine. The clerk frowned and said, "Sir, there is no room above yours. The attic's been locked up for decades." I never checked out so fast in my life. Woo. Alright guys, 5 stories. If you want to send me your encounter, once again, spookynews@yahoo.com. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And let me know. Thank you. Bye.